Polish architect Jakub Szczęsny is on his way to his latest project. 3 years ago, he discovered this building gap. Too narrow for a driveway, but just enough room for a house, he thought. At 1.22 meters across, at its widest point, the finished product is quite possibly the world's thinnest home.
This was the biggest challenge in my life because I've never done something as narrow.
At the entrance to the house in the back, the building is just 72 centimeters wide. But inside, it accommodates all the amenities of modern-day living. Israeli writer Keret is the official resident of the 14.5 square meter space. The house is located in the Wola district, once Warsaw's Jewish ghetto. As a child, Keret's mother was smuggled out and escaped death. The author has already spent a few nights in the house that carries his family's name.
Well, before I came here, I was very much afraid that it would be claustrophobic, that it will be dark. I feel like as a sardine in a tin. But I actually feel very comfortable in it. I think it's designed in such a way, there is a lot of light in it.
Under Polish law, the house is too small to be a residence, so it's classified as an art installation.
Well, the first time I've heard about this idea was that when Kuba called me and tried to explain to me over the phone the idea that he had for this very narrow house in Poland, explaining it all in English with a very heavy Polish accent, and it all sounded like a prank or a joke. I thought it was one of my friends trying to fool me.
Jakub Szczęsny belongs to a collective called Centrala. It has a reputation for experimental architecture. Designing Keret House didn't take the 35-year-old too much time. What did was the red tape. Addressing ownership issues, building regulations, and financing. Szczęsny needed to drum up some 70,000 euros to realize the project. The steel frame was put together at a parking lot on the outskirts of Warsaw.
We have received 1/3 of the money we were applying for from the city of Warsaw, and which meant that we had to start building without having the whole sum. So we had to spend this 1/3 on what was the steel construction, but then the rest of the money, we had to find it somewhere.
Private donors helped. A Polish art foundation owns the house. Wedging the steel frame into the gap was challenging.
The 10 centimeters were necessary for the mounting people to put their hands into the space and mount the screws. Everything had to be done manually.
His Keret House has won him praise and calls from potential customers worldwide.
Another possibility for a small house is actually here.
Filling building gaps has become Szczęsny's new mission. Keret House, he says, is just the beginning.
There are many gaps between urban tissues in Warsaw and also in other cities like Berlin, for instance. These are perfect spaces for, let's say, qualified consumers and users to fit in, but for sure it's not going to be cheap.
Keret plans to commute between his home in Tel Aviv and Warsaw. When he's not there, Keret House will be used for artist residencies.
I couldn't imagine myself really living here, but I could imagine it as a working studio. Like I could imagine myself coming here every day for a few hours, writing and thinking.
For Keret, the narrow house is inspirational. Its architect, he says, has given tangible shape to a crazy idea.